Hello and welcome to Quiz Class. I'm your host, Ellen, and today we have 100 trivia questions for you. Here are our Quiz Class awards. You can let us know how you rank in the comments at the end, along with the answer to the bonus question. Today's lineup begins with sports. Which technological innovation transformed sports equipment manufacturing? Aluminum molding, plastic injection, or composite materials? Composite materials. What medical advancement significantly impacted sports rehabilitation? Pain medication, arthroscopic surgery, or physical therapy? Arthroscopic surgery. Which equipment innovation transformed competitive swimming techniques? Lane dividers, starting blocks, or streamlined swimsuits? Streamlined swimsuits. Which technological development improved sports broadcasting? Radio transmission, satellite feeds, or instant replay? Instant replay. What strategic approach changed football offensive strategies, which involved a heavy passing presence? West Coast offense, shotgun formation, or single wing formation? West Coast offense. What medical advancement improved understanding of athletic injuries? X-ray technology, ultrasound, or MRI scanning? MRI scanning. Which technological advancement improved athletic performance tracking? Pedometers, GPS tracking, or wearable sensors? Wearable sensors. What medical technique improved muscle recovery and performance? Massage, ice baths, or compression therapy? Compression therapy. What rule change in basketball aimed to prevent stalling tactics? The 3-second rule, backcourt violation, or shot clock introduction? Shot clock introduction. Which training method, popularized in the 1960s, focused on explosive power? Plyometrics, circuit training, or aerobic conditioning? Plyometrics. What innovation in tennis racket stringing increased power and spin? Hybrid stringing, pre-stretched strings, or synthetic strings? Synthetic strings. Which Olympic sport saw the introduction of the Sol Chow jump? Freestyle skiing, gymnastics, or figure skating? Figure skating. What medical advancement improved diagnosis of sports-related concussions? Blood tests, reflex examinations, or computerized cognitive testing? Computerized cognitive testing. Which training technique, popularized in the 1970s, focused on muscle isolation? Calisthenics, free weights, or Nautilus machines? Nautilus machines. Who was the first gymnast to score a perfect 10 in Olympic competition? Olga Korbut, Nadia Comaneci, or Mary Lou Retton? Nadia Comaneci. Which boxer refused to be drafted into the U.S. Army, citing religious beliefs? Muhammad Ali, Joe Frazier, or George Foreman? Muhammad Ali. Which quarterback led the Green Bay Packers to victories in the first two Super Bowls? Joe Montana, Brett Favre, or Bart Starr? Bart Starr. Who was the first hockey player to score 50 goals in 50 games? Wayne Gretzky, Bobby Hull, or Maurice Richard? Maurice Richard. Who won 4 consecutive Olympic gold medals in discus throw? Al Oder, Mac Wilkins, or Rink Babka? Al Oder. Which swimmer won 7 gold medals at a single Olympic Games? Johnny Weissmuller, Michael Phelps, or Mark Spitz? Mark Spitz. Transportation and infrastructure for question 21. What infrastructure challenge did the creation of the Superfund program address? Bridge maintenance, water supply, or hazardous waste cleanup? Hazardous waste cleanup. Which transportation technology gained popularity for urban commuting in the 1980s? Hoverboards, light rail systems, or personal helicopters? Light rail systems. What was a major focus of the National Maximum Speed Law? Road safety, emissions reduction, or fuel conservation? Fuel conservation. Which infrastructure project aimed to revitalize urban waterfronts in the 1980s? Subway extensions, airport expansions, or harbor redevelopment? Harbor redevelopment. What transportation challenge did the introduction of containerization address? Air traffic congestion, passenger comfort, or cargo handling efficiency? Cargo handling efficiency. What infrastructure development addressed the need for rapid emergency response? Police call boxes, hospital helipads, or the 911 emergency system? The 911 emergency system. What infrastructure project aimed to protect coastal cities from flooding? Storm surge barriers, seawalls, or elevated roadways? Storm surge barriers. Which innovation in bridge construction allowed for longer spans? Suspension cables, pre-stressed concrete, or steel trusses? Pre-stressed concrete. Which infrastructure innovation improved water quality in urban areas? Desalination facilities, water towers, or advanced sewage plants? Advanced sewage plants. What transportation innovation aimed to improve fuel efficiency in automobiles? Radial tires, electronic fuel injection, or turbochargers? Electronic fuel injection. What infrastructure innovation improved energy distribution efficiency? Underground power lines, nuclear power plants, or smart grid technology? Smart grid technology. Which transportation development aimed to improve safety in air travel? Ground proximity warning systems, autopilot technology, or pressurized cabins? Ground proximity warning systems. Which innovation in public transportation aimed to improve accessibility? Express routes, escalators and stations, or low-floor buses? Low-floor buses. Which innovation in airport design improved passenger flow and security? Passenger boarding bridges, moving walkways, or automated baggage systems? Passenger boarding bridges. What infrastructure development aimed to reduce urban heat island effects? Urban green spaces, reflective roofing materials, or water fountains? Urban green spaces. Which infrastructure project completed in 1975 connected the upper and lower peninsulas of Michigan? Chesapeake Bay Bridge Tunnel, Mackinac Bridge, or the Golden Gate Bridge? The Mackinac Bridge. Which urban planning concept, popularized in the 1960s, aimed to separate pedestrians from vehicular traffic? Cul-de-sacs, roundabouts, or pedestrian malls? Pedestrian malls. Which transportation technology introduced in the 1970s aimed to improve fuel efficiency in automobiles? Fuel injection systems, radial tires, or catalytic converters? Catalytic converters. Which infrastructure project completed in 1959 aimed to improve navigation on the St. Lawrence River? The Erie Canal, Welland Canal, or St. Lawrence Seaway? The St. Lawrence Seaway. What transportation development of the 1980s aimed to improve fuel efficiency in commercial aviation? Winglets, supersonic transport, or fly-by-wire systems? Winglets. Scientific breakthroughs. For our next category, what scientific advancement developed during World War II significantly improved aircraft detection? Sonar, radio beacons, or radar? Radar. Which medical breakthrough, first mass-produced in the 1940s, dramatically reduced bacterial infection mortality? Aspirin, insulin, or penicillin? Penicillin. What cosmological theory proposed in the 1940s explained the origin of the universe? The Big Bang Theory, plasma cosmology, or oscillating universe theory? The Big Bang Theory. Which technological innovation developed in the 1940s laid the foundation for modern computing? Electronic digital computers, vacuum tubes, or mechanical calculators? Electronic digital computers. What medical imaging technique introduced in the 1950s revolutionized diagnostic medicine? The CT scan, MRI, or the ultrasound? Ultrasound. Which scientific breakthrough in the 1950s provided insights into the structure of DNA? Electron microscopy, gel electrophoresis, or X-ray crystallography? X-ray crystallography. What astronomical instrument completed in 1948 significantly advanced our understanding of the cosmos? Very Large Array, Keck Observatory, or Hale Telescope? The Hale Telescope. What space exploration milestone of the 1960s provided new insights into lunar geology? Lunar sample return, lunar orbiters, or lunar impact probes? Lunar sample return. What technological advancement of the 1960s facilitated global communications? Microwave relay towers, communication satellites, or transatlantic cable? Communication satellites. Which scientific theory proposed in the 1960s unified electromagnetic and weak nuclear forces? Electroweak theory, grand unified theory, or string theory? Electroweak theory. What medical imaging technique developed in the 1970s allowed for detailed soft tissue visualization? SPECT scans, MRIs, or CT scans? MRI. Which technological innovation of the 1970s revolutionized personal computing? Floppy disks, CRT monitors, or microprocessing? Microprocessing. What genetic engineering technique developed in the 1970s allowed for DNA manipulation? Polymerase chain reaction, gene sequencing, or recombinant DNA technology? Recombinant DNA technology. Which particle theorized in the 1960s and discovered in the 1970s completed the standard model of particle physics? Neutrino, Mount St. Helens, or Higgs boson? Higgs boson. What astronomical discovery in the 1960s provided evidence for the Big Bang Theory? Cosmic microwave background radiation, pulsars, or quasars? Cosmic microwave background radiation. Which medical breakthrough of the 1980s significantly improved organ transplant success rates? Dialysis machines, tissue typing, or cyclosporine? Cyclosporine. What computing innovation of the 1980s facilitated global information sharing? Fiber optic cables, internet protocols, or personal computers? Internet protocols. Which geological theory revolutionized our understanding of Earth's crust? Seafloor spreading, continental drift, or plate tectonics? Plate tectonics. Which mathematical concept found applications in weather prediction and stock market analysis? Game theory, graph theory, or chaos theory? Chaos theory. Which particle accelerator enabled discoveries that confirmed the standard model of particle physics? Stanford Linear Accelerator, Relativistic Heavy Ion Collider, or the Superproton Synchrotron? The Superproton Synchrotron. Global events. For our next category, question 61. Which Asian country split into two separate nations in 1947? India, Korea, or Vietnam? India. What was the name of the student-led protests in China that ended in a government crackdown? The May 4th movement, the Long March, or the Tiananmen Square protests? Tiananmen Square protests. Which African leader was released from prison in 1990 after 27 years of incarceration? Nelson Mandela, Jomo Kenyatta, or Kwame Nkrumah? Nelson Mandela. What was the name of the economic policy introduced by Deng Xiaoping that opened China to foreign investment? Great Leap Forward, New Economic Policy, or the Reform and Opening Up? Reform and Opening Up. Which Southeast Asian country experienced the genocide under the Khmer Rouge regime? Cambodia, Laos, or Vietnam? Cambodia. What was the name of the economic and political union formed by Western European countries in 1957? The European Economic Community, or the European Free Trade Association? The European Economic Community. Which Middle Eastern conflict resulted in the creation of Palestinian refugee camps? Arab-Israeli War, the Lebanese Civil War, or the Yom Kippur War? The Arab-Israeli War of 1948. Which African country's independence struggle was known as Mau Mau Uprising? Kenya, Algeria, or Zimbabwe? Kenya. What was the name of the Strategic Defense Initiative proposed by President Reagan? The Patriot System, Star Wars, or Missile Shield? The Strategic Defense Initiative, or Star Wars. What was the name of the summit meetings between the US and Soviet leaders to reduce Cold War tensions? The Helsinki Accords, Detente, or Glasnost? Detente. What was the name of the economic crisis that affected much of the world in the 1970s? The Great Depression, oil crisis, or stagflation? Oil crisis. Which African leader was overthrown in a coup d'etat in 1971? Kwame Nkrumah, Idi Amin, or Mobutu Sese Seko? Idi Amin. What was the name of the peace treaty signed between Israel and Egypt in 1979? Wye River Memorandum, Camp David Accords, or Madrid Conference? The Camp David Accords. Which South American country fought a war with the United Kingdom over the Falkland Islands? Brazil, Chile, or Argentina? Argentina. What was the name of the Soviet invasion of Czechoslovakia to crush liberal reforms? The Velvet Revolution, Polish October, or Prague Spring? Prague Spring. What was the name of the U.S. covert operation to arm anti-Soviet forces in Afghanistan? The Iran-Contra affair, Operation Ajax, or Operation Cyclone? Operation Cyclone. Which African country was the last to gain independence from colonial rule in 1980? Namibia, Angola, or Zimbabwe? Zimbabwe. What was the name of the student-led protests in France that nearly toppled the government in 1968? The Velvet Revolution, the Cultural Revolution, or May 68? May 68. What was the name of the Soviet-led invasion of Hungary to suppress the 1956 revolution? The Berlin Blockade, Operation Whirlwind, or Operation Barbarossa? Operation Whirlwind. What was the name of the U.S. foreign policy that sought to prevent the spread of communism in Southeast Asia? The Truman Doctrine, Domino Theory, or the Containment Policy? Domino Theory. Media and Communication for question 81. Which wartime innovation revolutionized radio news reporting in the 1940s? Shortwave radio, Morse code transmissions, or live overseas broadcasts? Live overseas broadcasts. What technological advancement allowed for the mass production of television sets in the 1950s? The cathode ray tubes, vacuum tubes, or printed circuit boards? Printed circuit boards. Which communication satellite system launched in the 1960s enabled global telephone connections? Telstar, Explorer, or Vanguard? Telstar. What innovation in newspaper production increased printing speed and quality in the 1960s? Offset lithography, rotary presses, or linotype machines? Offset lithography. Which television broadcasting standard introduced in the 1950s allowed for color transmissions? CCAM, RGB, or NTSC? NTSC. Which innovation in radio broadcasting improved sound quality? Frequency modulation, shortwave, or digital audio broadcasting? Frequency modulation, or FM. What technology introduced in the 1980s revolutionized home recording video? CD, Betamax, or VHS? VHS. Which communication protocol developed in the 1970s laid the foundation for the Internet? HTTP, TCP, IP, or SMTP? TCP, IP. What communication device introduced in the 1950s became popular for business and emergency services? Walkie-talkies, pagers, or CB radios? Pagers. What radio format, emerging in the 1960s, focused on an in-depth discussions and listener call-ins? Album-oriented rock, top 40, or talk radio? Talk radio. General knowledge for our last category. Which renewable energy source is harnessed by photovoltaic cells? Wind or solar? Solar. What term describes the practice of growing plants without soil? Permaculture or hydroponics? Hydroponics. Which technology allows for secure, decentralized record-keeping in cryptocurrencies? Blockchain or quantum encryption? Blockchain. What material, composed of a single layer of carbon atoms, is known for its exceptional strength and conductivity? Graphene or fullerene? Graphene. Which global health initiative aims to eradicate polio worldwide? The Global Polio Eradication Initiative or Stop TB Partnership? And the first one is the answer. Global Polio Eradication. Which economic concept describes a situation where increasing one person's well-being doesn't reduce another's? The Pareto efficiency or the comparative advantage? Pareto efficiency. What is the name of the largest known cave system in the world? Mammoth Cave System or San Duong Cave? The Mammoth Cave System. What term describes the study of the ethical implications of AI? Digital morality or AI ethics? AI ethics. What is the name of the deepest known point in the Earth's oceans? Java Trench or Challenger Deep? Challenger Deep. Which psychological phenomenon describes a tendency to overestimate one's abilities in the areas of low competence? Imposter syndrome or the Dunning-Kruger effect? Dunning-Kruger effect. And our bonus question, what is the name of the largest known structure in the universe? Let us know the answer in the comments. And let us know your ranking with our Quiz Class Einstein Awards. As always, thanks for playing this quiz. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.